What is the first step in creating a diction? Document one word, column 3 of document one word, document.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the lounge. It has been a while since I've been actually on this channel, doing a lot of anything really. We did a few uploads, and I think some of the BVI pilot stuff came over to this channel on some uploads as well. But before I get started, I just want to let people kind of know what to expect, here on this channel, just to get that out of the way. The first thing is it's always about motivation. It's always about helping somebody else. It's about helping other people feel good about who they are and helping them, get through a situation that they might be going through. That's what it's always been about at the lounge. It's always been about that. Even with some of the bad falls that we've had on the channel, it's always been about what can we do to help somebody else? What can we do to help someone else get through a rough day? And it's still about that. Now, as most of you that have been a part of this channel in the past, you already know that I had went to college. I went through criminal justice. I went through psychology. One more semester, and that'll be all done with all the psychology that I've done and that I've completed. I'm going to be graduating next semester with my bachelor's degree in psychology. Will I take it any further? I honestly can't say no, but I can't say yes. But from then until now, there's been just a whole lot of stuff that's been going on, and a lot of time for thinking, a lot of time putting into the work in college, and that at that same time gave me a lot of time for thinking and really being clear on the direction that I want to go with continuing this channel, because obviously I'm not going to stop using the channel. I'm not going to just shut it down because maybe this person's no longer on the channel or that person's no longer around. Life goes on. Life, we meet people, we meet good people, we meet bad people, we meet all different types of people, and part of that is just moving on, right? So from here on out, it's going to continue to be a motivational channel. It's going to be about what can we do to help other people. So obviously stick around. If you're new, tap on the subscribe button. Join us here. If you're not new here, I welcome you back to the channel, and etc. So be sure to share it with your friends, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want to share it. And just most of all, remember that it's about helping other people. This isn't about, oh, John, you're this, or John, you're that, or John, that's a dumb topic, or John, that's stupid. It's not going to be about any of that. That stuff, obviously, it's a free country. You can say what you want, but there just will be no reaction from it whatsoever. I've learned a lot in psychology. I've learned a lot about so many different things, and luckily I can apply that to the discussions that we have here on the channel. One of the things most important is making sure that the message that's delivered, to make sure that I'm clear about what we're talking about, and hopefully being able to pass it on to somebody that needs the attention. So, for that said, we'll go ahead and start the topic here. And it's going to be based on drug addiction and recovery. Pretty popular topic, isn't it? I want to kind of just go over some of the basics on it. And hopefully, with some of the things that I talk about on here, it will be something that can help you, something that you can apply into your life. If you are new, I will give a quick rundown again about me. Again, my name is John. I am from Indiana. I started college in 2016/2017. I started out in criminal justice. I went 2 years, got my associate's degree in crim, and then I switched to psychology, got my associate's degree in psychology, and I'm about to graduate with my bachelor's degree in psychology as well. I also, going down that path, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of different things. Sorry about that. I was didn't have the mic where I needed to be. I've learned a lot of things, and even in criminal justice, I learned quite a bit. In psychology, I've learned so much, and information just keeps coming in. So, stuff that I talk about, it's not one of them deals where I'm just guessing, oh, this might, this could be right. No, the stuff that I talk about is stuff that I've learned, stuff that I've applied in college, that things that, I had to do hours and hours and hours of work in, studying different areas all throughout psychology. So mental, physical, emotional, all the areas that you could think of, I have studied it somewhere or another. So, be reassured that when I'm talking about something, it's not just me saying, I think this is how this goes. No, it's something that I've learned, and it's something that I know that's how it goes. And, if someone wanted to say, well, that's incorrect, well, I'm glad you've got your opinion on that. And hopefully by the end of the topic or video, whatever it might be, maybe you will learn differently. Otherwise, you can continue to have your opinions. I will respect your opinions as I respect my own opinions. And so hopefully, again, we can get some positive things out of helping those of you out there that are looking for the help. Okay, so drug addiction. Obviously, we all know what drug addiction is. If you are here, you've seen the topic, you've seen the title, and it's something that you're dealing with. I most of all want to say that right now, you might be in the beginning stage where you really don't know what's going to happen. Maybe you're scared. Maybe you're angry about it. Maybe you're confused. But what I can tell you is that once you get through the first step, it will get easier as time passes. This is no easy task, no easy deal to get through drug addiction. There's so many people out there in the world that just assume, oh, that That person there's on drugs. They just need to stop. They're being stupid. They're just dumb. They don't have no common sense. Well, unfortunately, for the people thinking that, I think that they might need to stop and look at what they're saying, because they're incorrect. Just because you are going through drug addiction, you've done drugs, that most and foremost, that doesn't mean you're stupid. It doesn't mean that you have no common sense. It doesn't mean that you're not a good person. It doesn't mean that you're acting like a child. It doesn't mean that no one loves you. All the things that you could be thinking while going through this, I can tell you that you're probably thinking things that are definitely not true. So what is that first step to drug addiction? So the first step to drug addiction and recovery, the very first step is to admit that you, my friend, have a problem. And that's a big step. It's not an easy step. It's a big step. But it's 100% accurate. The first step is for you to remind yourself, to tell yourself that, hey, I've got a problem. I've got to do something about it. It can take a long time for you to get through that first step. And that's why there's people like me sitting here talking to you to go through it with you, to be there for you while the rest of the world turns their shoulders and goes a different direction. I will go through it with you while other people in the world assume all these things about you. I will go through it with you through the bad and the good. But you have to stop, and you got to go through this with me. Meaning, don't just say, "Oh, John, he don't know what he's talking about. I'm out of here. I'm closing this video. This is stupid." The minute you do that, that's just ammunition for you to keep on doing what you're doing. Because you're ignoring the important parts of going through the recovery of drug addiction. No matter who you are, where you're from, no matter what you've done in your past, leave that stuff behind you and pay attention to what is in front of you now. Not even tomorrow, but right now. And right now, you are here, you're watching this video for a reason. You're not here just watching the video just to say, "Oh, I just wanted to watch it." Now, there might be some that find it to be an interesting topic and maybe just want to watch to maybe learn something or just to listen. Because some people, might have, where they get into watching certain types of YouTube videos or whatever the case might be. But you are here for a reason. And I don't think it's you being here to do your nails and Okay, had to fix that. To do your nails or any other silly thing, right? You're here for a reason. You're here because you're dealing with drug addiction. You're here because you're ready to do better. You're here to recover. You're here to put all the bad behind you and move forward, right? And the only thing I ask you to do, I'm not telling you that you got to obey everything I tell you to do. I'm not here to talk to you as a commander or as your leader. Now, if you choose to follow me as your leader in drug addiction and recovery, then that's a different story. But I mean, as your commander, leader in as in telling you what to do. I'm here to help you, my friend. I'm here to help you get through something that you clearly have already said, I can't do this alone. Or you wouldn't even be watching the video. So, first step, admitting that you have a problem. Admitting that you have a problem with drug addiction. And I've got stuff wrote down here as well. So if anybody wants a copy of the documents, you can leave your comments and I will work on putting these documents in a place where anyone can access them. That's why I'm putting them together this way. That way, if you want to have these so that you can look back over it, you'll have that option. Let me know, because the way I'm doing my audio, I got the mic in front of me, but not directly. It's kind of... Okay.
Blank. Document 1 word. 1.5 inches. Ops 29.1. Ops 29.1.3 profile. Untitled scenes. Untitled window. Controls window. Stop recording. Checkbox checked. Ops 29.1.3 profile. Untitled scenes.
So I
Untitled.
got my mic because that did go. And shut off on me because it's going dead. So let me plug this up here. There we go. Okay.
Ops 29.1.3 profile. Untitled scenes. Start virtual. Stop recording. Checkbox checked. Document 1 word. Row 1 column 2. Document 1 word. Blank. Drug addiction and recovery. Drug addiction and recovery.
So at the top here we got drug addiction and
Blank.
recovery.
What is the first step in treating addiction? Is it getting help or admitting that you have a...
And it says exactly what I said. What is the first step of
Blank. What is the first step in treating addiction? Is it...
treating addiction?
Blank. What is the first step in treating addiction? Is it getting help or admitting that you have
Is
a...
it getting help or admitting
Problem in
that
the
you
first
have
place?
a problem in the first
Blank.
place?
Is it the moment when you realize you no longer need the substance you abused?
Is it the moment when you realize that you no longer need the substance that you abuse?
For everyone, recovery looks a little different and the journey is never the same. The first step.
And as it says, for everyone, recovery looks a little different for everyone. And it
The treating addiction,
does.
however, is a little more common. Blank. Grammar error. Taking baby steps towards recovery. Taking the first step is the most important part of treating.
So, just as I told you, taking the first step,
Blank. Grammar error. Taking baby steps towards recovery. Taking the first step is the most important part of treating.
this is the most important part. The most important part of
Addiction.
recovery and
Blank.
addiction.
Many people wonder what grammar error is the first step in treating addiction, and they start thinking about
A lot of people wonder what it is, and they
what the individual
start
goes through once
thinking
they're in the
about
rehab
what the
facility. That,
individual
however, is our
goes through once they're in the facility.
first step in
However,
treating addiction. What the individual goes through once they're in the rehab facility. That, however, is far past the first step in treating addiction.
it's far past the first step of treating addiction, as it says right here. I'm repeating what you get to look at if you want this file.
They may go as far back as the intervention or personal discussions with the individual about.
And it says they can go back as far as the
First step. They may go as far back as the intervention or personal discussions with the individual about
intervention or the personal discussions
how they develop an addiction.
about how they even developed the
Blank.
addiction.
1. At this point, the individual is in a pre-contemplative stage and may not fully admit that they...
So you could be at a stage where you were saying, I
a
don't
problem.
have a problem.
Blank. Before staging an intervention, to encourage them to seek treatment, it's a good idea to just talk.
But
To the one-on-one, do not scare them or make them run. Grammar error shut down or to feel like they are.
that's why I'm here right now, is to talk to you, to help you realize that you're not alone. right? That is the first step, is having the right support. I'm going to switch to a different mic for a minute, so you all bear with me, because I gotta move for a second. So just let's see if we can do this. Hold on one
Ops 29, Ops 29,
second.
start streaming, scene transition, transition, audio mixer, window, sources window, list, MSFS, scenes window, list, flight simulator, controls window, pause recording, checkbox not checked. Not checked.
Okay, so
Document 1 word, row 1, column 2 through 5. Document 1 word, document page 1, section 1 to the 1 on 1 to not spare them, or make them run. Grammar error, shut down, 2 life.
continuing here, having the right support system is really, really important, you guys. And maybe, watching the video is not really the most support that you could get. Maybe you need direct support, one-on-one, meaning someone to talk to, someone that understands what you're going through. Doesn't mean that it needs to be someone that's been through it, but it needs to be someone that can understand, that can listen to you. Now, personally, I know how important it is when you're talking to somebody and you've got something going on. I know how important it is and how much it means to have someone there that listens, really listens to what you're saying. And just because, I've talked to people in my past when I've been going through different things in my life, and they would listen. Didn't mean they had to agree with every little thing that came out of my mouth, but they were there. They were there to listen and to help me have the ability to vent. It's important when going through recovery from addiction that you have a good support group. Whatever that system might be, that has to be solid. So if you got a best friend, maybe your brother, maybe your sister, maybe your cousin, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever it might be, it's got to be solid to you, right? That's what matters. That's what makes the bigger difference. I would always tell people, when you reach out and you have those certain people / your support system, that you have to be 100% with it. Meaning, you got to feel good about the system that you have, the people that you have, or one person that you have. Now, that could be also meaning that you have maybe a couple best friends, or you're in a relationship and it's your other half. Plus, on the professional side, that you might have a counselor, you might have a recovery group that you go to. Whatever it is, I beg you to please make sure that it's solid to you. The support group that you have is going to be, it's the tools that you got to have, right? If you don't have a support system and you try to go through this, it's going to be much harder for you to do it alone. That's why, if you're in group, and you've heard this probably before, and they talk about, someone that you can talk to, someone that can support you and be there for you. That's really important. Because every day is not going to be perfect. Every day is not going to be great. Some days are going to be rough. I would be a liar if I sat here and told you that from this point forward, every day is going to be simple. Going through recovery from drug addiction is far from being simple. It's hard. It's tough. And because of how hard it is, that's why, again, it's really important to have a good system. So anytime that I say that, just keep a note to yourself that when I say have a good system, I'm also just talking about those people, that group of people, or one person in your life that's helping you go through this. You might even be, maybe already you're already getting help for drug addiction. So you might be in group counseling. You might be in one-on-one. I'm going to talk about that for a second because to me that is really, really important to understand the difference between group and one-on-one. And I don't mean as in, okay, do you understand when you're doing one-on-one, it's just going to be you and the counselor. Obviously, we already know that. I'm talking about the details of having that one-on-one or the details of being in group. You need to make sure that it's best for you. Because if you don't find it being good, then automatically your system's already broke. So put together a good system and start talking to whoever that might be. Okay, that's step number 2. Number 1 is admitting that you got the problem. Step number 2 is putting your support group together. That can also mean going to a professional location for addiction and recovery. Sometimes people need to be inpatient. Sometimes they can do it outpatient. On another video, we'll talk about the difference between inpatient and outpatient because there is a big difference. So recap, number 1, put your system together. Get a good system. Or sorry, see, I'm already stepping on my own feet. Number 1, admitting that you got the problem and that you're going to get help. And then number 2, locating that group, your system, to start the process. Okay? That's really, really important.
Document 1 word. Add. Blank.
Okay. So I'm still doing notes. This document's not completely filled out all the way yet. I'm grabbing data from all different areas of information and putting it all in a file for you.
Ops 29. What is the first step in treating addiction? What is the first
Back
step?
over
And what is the
here.
seeking treatment for the addiction? For this to happen, they have to realize motivation for getting sober, understand that they have an addiction, and be willing to work for sobriety.
Okay, so the next thing that I
Document 1 word.
want
Row 1.
to
Document 1
talk
word.
about, and I'm just
Blank.
going to write it down
Blank.
here so
Add.
I got
To
to
the one-on-one.
know.
Add. Blank. Blank. Tab. Blank. Add. Blank. 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 Add. Blank.
Okay, so we're going to
Add. Blank. 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 Add. Blank. Blank.
write down motivation.
Motivation. Blank.
You have got to have Motivation to do this. You got to be motivated. So you got to find something.
What is the first step in treating addiction? What is the first? This requires a healthy and supportive space to express their feelings without blame language or.
So, right here.
Sobriety. This requires sobriety. Motivation for getting sober. Understand that they have an addiction and be willing to work for. Sobriety.
So right here, when I talk about motivation.
Motivation for getting sober. For getting sober.
It says motivation for getting sober.
Understand
that they have an addiction.
Willing to work for
and
sobriety.
Be willing to work for sobriety.
Requires a healthy and supportive.
This requires a healthy and supportive space.
Express their feelings without.
To express your feelings without blame.
Language or too much.
Language or
outside
too
opinion.
Much outside opinion.
Many individuals. Lifeline. Too much outside opinion. For many individuals, this is where therapy and counseling become a lifeline. But for others, it can start with friends and family members.
And it says here.
Too much outside opinion. For many individuals, this is where therapy and counseling become.
This is where therapy and counseling become a lifeline.
For others, it can
start
with friends and
family
members.
and family.
Heading level 3 signs. Healthy signs of progress in treating addiction may include better decision making skills. Heading level 3 signs of healthy progress.
Okay, so let's just
document one word.
talk about motivation here a little bit first before I go any further. Having that right system / support group, that truly should be 50% of your motivation. Now you might be saying, why? Why is that only 50%? Why is that not 100? Well, because you gotta put in to that motivation too, right? You gotta put in to that support as well. It's more than just having your spouse or your wife or your husband or your best friend to be supportive to you. You've got to be supportive to yourself, and you got to feel motivated. Now, some of the things that you can do is maybe you're working on getting clean, and you've got, there's a job that you want to do or a specific career that you want to get involved in. Find something that really gets your attention, right? For example, let's say that you're wanting to get clean so that you can go to college and be a nurse. Well, that there alone is going to give you motivation. If it's got to be what you really want, right? It's got to be something that you really, really want. You got to have reasons that really motivate you to want to make that difference. Maybe you've got a kid. That alone should be plenty of motivation to say, I gotta do this. I want to be the best that I can be for my child. And I know what you're thinking. Well, I see parents all the time that's got kids and they still do it. Yeah, but we don't know the other half of it. Maybe they never had the right support group. Right? Could that, again, that makes a big difference. So have something that's going to motivate you to keep pushing you to get up and say, today's going to be a good day. I'm going to get through another day of being drug-free. I'm going to give you some really, really critical points here. Things that you can do that will make a huge difference while going through recovery. When you get up in the morning, now this is your motivator.
Motivation.
This is all part of motivation. It's gonna be. I'm gonna put it down here too, in the file so you can see that. But before you get up in the morning, when you open your eyes, or maybe you wake up and you still got your eyes closed like I do. My wife, she'll wake me up in the morning and I'll lay there. I'll be awake. My eyes still be closed and I'll be trying to slowly drift back off. But so you don't got to have your eyes open. But what you do is you start giving yourself positive thoughts about you. Take 2 or 3 minutes and put it on yourself. And say, you know what? I am a good person. Today is going to be a good day. I am smart. I am beautiful. I do have a good life. I can succeed. I will be successful. All these positive things. You can even throw your own little things in there. Whatever it is, make it positive. And if I'm telling you, if you do this every day, before you crawl out of bed, it's going to make a difference. Some people that started doing this, they would also go to their bathroom or stand in front of their dresser and look in the mirror and do these same steps. So, pick how you want to do it and just do it. And don't be like, oh, well, it's been 3 days. This ain't working. You got to give it time. If you do it every day like I'm suggesting, like I'm telling you to do, after about 3 weeks, it's going to become a habit where you just wake up and you give yourself positive thoughts. Let me.
Motivation.
Okay.
Land. Prof. Character term. Colon.
Okay, so motivation.
Motivation. Land.
All right. There is a lot more that I want to talk about, but I want you to really focus right now on you and find yourself that system.
What is the first step in treating addiction? What is the first
support group?
Healthy signs of progress in treating addiction may include better decision making.
A lot of the other things you're going to see me talking
Healthy
about
level 3 signs of healthy progress.
signs of healthy
Relapse
progress,
and failure, level 3.
relapse and failure,
Why admitting the problem is so important, heading level 3.
why admitting the problem is so important. That's something that we'll talk about that all the time in more than just one video that I do.
What loved ones can do to make the process easier, heading level 3.
We're going to talk about other, there's all kinds of things that we'll talk about, what loved ones can do to help make it
Treatment now, heading level 3. What loved ones can do to make the process easier.
and make the process
What are the early signs of
easier.
addiction? Heading level.
What's the early signs of addiction? I just want to bring this up real quick in case maybe you're someone that's already tried drugs a couple times and you feel like, oh man, I shouldn't be doing this.
The early signs of addiction or substance abuse can be difficult to pinpoint for some individuals. You may not even realize that you are seeing these signs already.
Listen, if you are just now, maybe you did drugs once and you're only doing it because someone else does it, addiction's not even hit you yet. So don't let it go any further. Just be smart and don't do it. Others that might watch this video are nodding their head in agreement when I say that, because once addiction kicks in, then you're really going to need to be here watching this stuff.
If you notice yourself or a loved one going through these signs, it's important to get help as soon.
Maybe you don't do drugs at all, but maybe you notice someone else going through this. Try to help them.
As possible, the earlier it is addressed, the higher chance of successful and faster recovery.
If you can address it to them at an early stage, the more success that you'll have of helping them.
Early signs of addiction include there are different levels of severity, heading level 2.
Other thing we're going to talk about is the levels of
The
severity,
impact of substance abuse and advanced signs of addiction.
impacts of substance
Seeking treatment is the right
abuse,
thing.
talking about seeking
What are the 5 stages of
treatment,
treatment? Heading level.
things like that. The next video that I'm going to be doing, we'll be talking about the 5 stages of treatment.
There are multiple stages of treatment that are designed to coincide.
Okay, now they're just as it says here, I just read it, there's multiple stages, and there is. But
Heading level 2 are the 5 stages of treatment.
I want to focus on next time we do a video. I might even do some live streams. It depends on the views and comments. Do you guys want more of it? Stuff, etc. Stuff
We'll take time. Heading level 2 are the 5 stages of treatment.
But we will talk about the 5 stages of treatment next time when we return again.
What treatment program is best? Heading level 3.
We're going to talk about what treatment programs are better.
What is intervention? Heading level 2.
More information on what intervention
What is
is.
detoxification? Heading level. The
Detoxification.
importance of aftercare. Heading level 2.
Even talking about
See Red River Treatment Center.
aftercare.
References. Heading level 2. List with 3 items. 1. Helpless. Cries for help. 10 signs of addiction.
So there's just a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about. And I'm going to put this link.
Out of link reviverhealthcare.com. Out of link call. Out of link reviverhealthcare. E-R-E-D-R-I-V-E-R.
This is called Red River Healthcare.
Toolbar. Address and search.
I'm going to grab the link.
H-T River.com. Select first steps and select treatment addiction.
And as a matter of fact, you will find
What is
it
the first step? Call us.
down
855.
below in
Document
the
1 word row 1 column 2
description.
5. Document 1 word.
Okay.
Motivation. Blank.
So let me go down a couple more lines. Let's do
Heading
a
1 style. Outline level 1.
and do contact information.
Heading level 1 contact information. Heading level 1 blank. Heading level 1 contact. Heading level 1 blank. Paste. Link heading level 1 addition slash. Link heading level 1 HTTPS. Heading level 1 contact info. Link blank.
Okay,
What is the first? What is the first?
phone number.
Link reviver. Link call us. Link 855 9. Link call us. Link 805 8. Line feed 8. 855 952 45 50 selected. Copy the clip.
That you can
Document 1
call
word.
as
Document
well.
link heading level blank. Paste. 855 blank.
And that's going to be in the document as well and in the description.
What is the first step in treating addiction? What is the first step in treating addiction?
So, folks, the only way, before I
What is the
go,
first step in treating addiction?
I want to say this. The only way
Document 1 word. Document page 2 section 1 blank.
that
Ops
it will
29.1.3 profile. Ops 20.
get better starts with you. Starts with you admitting that you have a problem. Don't even think about any of the other gibberish that might be going through your mind about, well, they're going to think this, or he's going to think that, or she's going to think this. Put all that to the side. Let me tell you something. Okay?
Ops 29.1.
Just very quickly before I go. If I'm having a bad day, the first person that I go to is my wife. And I say, Amanda, I'm having a bad day. This is bothering me. Or sometimes you don't even got to say anything. Because when you got the right people around you, they'll notice something and they'll be there to support you. Don't worry about other people. If they're not a part of your recovery or a part of you going through this, don't even worry about them. They'll be there even after you go through all this and when you're better. And hopefully it's someone that needs help too. Well, maybe they'll see what you did and they'll follow in those same steps. Everything you do will make a difference in your life. And if you got good friends around you, best friends, hopefully it can make a difference in their life as well. But recovery starts with you. Don't lie to yourself. Admit you got a problem. Face that you got a problem. That's the first step. And then you find the support group. Part of it might be the videos here. Another part might be your husband or wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, cousin, mom, dad, whatever it might be. Friends. A professional place of group counseling or one-on-one counseling, whatever it might be. Okay? These are the most two important things. If you can't do these 2 steps, you'd be wasting your time to watch any of these other videos that I might publish. You'd be wasting your time if you can't get through the first 2 steps. Step 1, admit that you got a problem. And step 2, put together a good system.
Scenes window. List sources with audio. Mid scene preparations. Add config controls with stop recording. Checkbox checked.
Folks, that's all I got for now. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. If you are wondering about if I'll ever be doing live streams, yes, probably so. Me and the wife we've got a lot of things planned. Everything's just not in full going mode yet. We're still working on putting things together. But be sure to tap on the subscribe button. Join us here on the channel. If you got questions, comments, concerns, maybe you need help, but you don't know what to do. Maybe you're struggling with admitting that you got a problem and you need someone to talk to. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you succeed. We're here to create a better future for you, for us, for the world, for tomorrow. Y'all take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Keep your head up. It will only get better. Y'all take care.